Okay, I know you probably can't tell this by looking at me, but there was one week in the 80s where I was the McNugget girl.
Nice.
I was a very shy kid growing up, and that continued into high school. And when I worked at McDonald's, I actually had to talk to people. What a surprise. And I pretty much could get away with working in the grill area with all the smart-ass guys that would tell me I had to count pickles or something like that. But eventually I did have to move out front and work drive-thru and wear the paper hat and the polyester uniform and the trainee name badge and make fries. And I made friends not with the people you'd think I'd make friends with, like my coworkers I went to school with. I made friends with like the little guy that rode the bike, and one time gave me my horoscope that he had nicely written on the back of banquet TV dinner cardboard. And the other person I made friends with was a guy named Charlie that had a Irish setter named Red, and he lived in a little van. And this just really expanded my world, because when you don't talk to people, your world is pretty much your family. And so I would hang out after hours with Charlie in the parking lot and listen to his stories. And every time he came in, he didn't necessarily remember me, but he would walk in and he would come through the doors and he would stare frantically in the menu and he'd say, hamburger, 50 cents, cheeseburger, 60 cents, Big Mac, $1.25. And eventually he would count out very painstakingly 53 cents, and he'd get a hamburger for his dog, Red. And he would leave. And every time, I don't know if he was some kind of prophet from the future, but he would walk to the door and like stand in front of it like it was going to open for him. And we would have to go and we would open the door. So I don't know, maybe he was from the future. So, and I really wish I could remember more of his stories, but when I was the McNugget girl, I had to wear this like big, it was a heavy contraption. It was, I play the accordion now, it was heavier than the accordion. It's like 40 pounds, and it had like a little bowl for the McNuggets and then little trays for the sauces. And I would feel bad for the homeless people in town, and I would make sure they got all the McNuggets first. And so I had quite a following as the McNugget girl, and there would be a line forming, and I'd be like, no, you have to wait, no nuggets for you. Okay, you come here, I've got plenty of nuggets. And I was like hunched over, and it was hot, and I would have to give this whole spiel about nuggets. And one night, as I was ending my McNugget trial for the evening, I saw Charlie approach, and he was carrying Red, and he had tears streaming down his face. And we opened the door for him, and Red, his dog, was dying. It was tragic. He was frantic. He was trying to give the dog CPR in the middle of the lobby. And I could see people trying to eat their dinner, and their McDonald's cups were sweating, and they're like posed with the mouth on the straw, and they're like, what's going to happen? And, you know, we went up, and I'm trying to comfort Charlie, but I have the big McNugget protuberance on, and I couldn't quite get my arms around him. And two guys from the grill stopped in the middle of like a 12-6 turn, you know, 12 burgers, 6 Big Macs, for those of you in the know, and 2 pickles per sandwich. And they stopped their grilling, and they came out, and they were very sweet, and they got him to calm down and to take Charlie out. And I really wish I could remember some of the stories that Charlie told, but I can still remember to this day that I had to give the whole McNugget spiel, which was, McNuggets are real chicken, both white and dark meat, breaded and slightly roasted and served with your choice of 4 sauces. But I much rather would have remembered, I wish I could remember the stories that Charlie told.